Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's an honor for me to represent my team to deliver our research. I'm Sriwiyanti and here is my team. Wahyu Saifuddin, Dr. Siti Hajar, and Meta Aisyah. The title of our research is Spiritual Well-Being Among Juveniles, a case study in Pontianak Correctional Facility, Indonesia. The content of our discussion today consists of 6 primary points. The first is background of research, method, literature review, results, discussions, and the last is conclusion. Our background of research. Indonesia is a member state of the United Nations, ratified the conventions on the rights of the child through various decrees. One of the rights referred to is fulfilling well-being, and one of the well-being is spiritual well-being. Actually, various studies have been conducted to examine the well-being of juveniles in correctional facilities. However, there has been no discussions regarding spiritual well-being in juveniles in correctional facilities, especially in Indonesia. The methods of our study using qualitative approach refer to Elkohen, Elkmanian, and Morrison. The primary data is collected through in-depth interviews according to Fisher theory and other required documents such as report of violations at the registered books. The analysis using coding in Vivo 12+, and the last step is interpret the categorized data by utilizing the theory of spiritual well-being and other relevant journals. There are 2 constructs using in this study. The first is spiritual well-being according to John Fisher, 2009, and juveniles according to Act number 11. Spiritual well-being consists of 4 domains that are personal, communal, environmental, and transcendental. While the juveniles terms is children who break the law that undergo the rehabilitations in correctional facilities. Here is the profile of respondents. There are 3 respondents in this study, under 20 years old, and the cases are murder and rape. The highest case in correctional facilities in Pontianak is rape, and the majority of religions is Islam. The data shown from the registered books state that 3 respondents have never committed a disciplinary violations in the recorded in the violations book. This is our discussions. First is personal domain. The 3 subjects describes similar feelings about seeing themselves. However, we can conclude that this feeling of regret led the respondent to stressful experience. And these descriptions implies that they could not accept themselves as a total human. In fact, self-worth is an indicator that assigns personal domain. And second discussions is after several months, the respondents were involved in some programs in the correctional facilities. The respondents imply that they have known themselves. And we can conclude that this one categorized as self-identity as one of indicator of spiritual well-being and personal domain. And the third discussions is the respondents also state the specific goals they will pursue after finishing the punishment endured. And this one is assigned as the purpose of life, where someone determines the goals they require. And the second discussions is communal domain. The first ones is 3 respondents state that they are difficulty adapting the correctional facilities environment. And this feeling makes them afraid to not being accepted by the new environment. We can conclude that juveniles' communal domain is relatively low because they have not been able to build a relationship. However, after several months, the 3 respondents stated they could communicate with others and trying to build a relationship. while this one is assigned as establishing relationship with other individuals. Reversely, not all the respondents can build a deep relationships. Like P and M states that they are feeling difficult to trust people and share their feelings, while G claimed the opposite. In fact, the high communal domains should indicates a deep and high quality relationship. And the third discussion is environmental domain. Unfortunately, there is no indicators that shows from the three respondents. We could not conclude the clear indicator from the respondents because the three respondents have not stated any characteristic of the environmental domains, such as amusement of the natures or peak experience, and they do not state that. And the last discussion is transcendental domain. The first is the three respondents state that they believe in God, they have religions. And the respondents also believe that there is always someone watching over their activity. And this statement indicate that they rely on a supreme power, or we call it as God. However, their worship to God have different descriptions. Respondent G felt better in the worship activity when he was in the correctional facilities, while P said the opposite, and M stated he does the rituals rarely. In fact, the intensity of worship shows a continuous search to find the true meaning. However, the three respondents could not describe a high intensity of worship. This is the last of our discussions. The conclusions, there are 5 points. The first is personal domains present as a continuum that improves because the juveniles involved in some programs in the correctional facilities. While the communal domains, P and M stated they are difficult to build deep relationships, so it implies it's different descriptions. And the third is the three respondents have not stated clear indicators in the environmental domain. However, in the transcendental domains, they believe in God and they have a good relationship with God. However, respondent P and M still had difficulties in carrying out the discipline of worship. This conclusion is made through the interviews results and the registered books.